Hello guys, I'm preparing for my CCN exam and I have a question which I have solved it very quickly. This is about VLSM overlaps. This is the appendix H from the CCN ICND1 CD, which is included in the official book. I'm going to solve the problem number 2 here, which is 172.20.1.237 / with prefix 30. I prefer writing it down as the full subnet mask for 5.255.252, and we'll subtract this from 256, which comes as 4. Now I'm gonna find out which subnet ID this IP address falls into. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide 237 by 4. Okay, so we got 59. I'm going to multiply 4 by 59. Sorry about the out of focus. So which is 236. So this IP address falls into this range, 172.20.1.236, and this broadcast will be 2.1. I'm gonna add 4 into this, which is 240, and the broadcast will be 239. So this is the range. This IP address belongs to this range, so we calculate the next one, which is 172.20.1.225 with prefix 28, which is 255.255.255, and it gives us 4 bits, so it's gonna be, well, we'll simply multiply that, add up 64, 32 and 16, which is 240. Way. Okay, so 256 minus 240 is 16, and we're going to find out the range. I'm going to divide 225 with 16, so which is 16, 6, 65, 14. Okay, so if I multiply 16 with 14, which is 226, which is far bigger than we need. Okay, so if I do multiply 16 with 13 and 6, 1. Actually, this is wrong. Okay, sorry about this. I actually made a little mistake. Well, this little mistake could have given me a 0 mark. This figure was exactly right, 16 by 14. I put 6 here rather than 4, so it should have been 224, which is exactly what we need. 172.20.1.224, and the broadcast ID will be, if I add just 16 here, 240. So obviously the range is okay, I'm gonna write it down here, 172.20.1. Okay, the next subnet ID is 240. Okay, and obviously this is the next subnet ID, and the broadcast ID, if we just minus 1, this will give us the broadcast ID for this range, which will be 172.20.1.239. This is our broadcast subnet ID, 172.20.1.239. so there we go. Okay, so next one will be, actually I'm just looking at the paper, I'm not looking at the phone, and I don't know if it is out of focus or not, so if it is, please forgive me. The next one is 172.20.1.254./29, which is 255.255.255. It gives us 4 bits, which is 2, 2, 4. Is that right? Okay. No, it gives us 4 bits. Sorry, 5 bits, so it's 248. It gives us 5 bits, so which is 8 plus 8 plus 8, 24. 24 minus 29, 5 bits. So we got to calculate 5 bits, which is 248. Okay, and now if we subtract 256 minus 248, which gives a figure of 8. Okay, and 254 divided by 8 is, so we're going to multiply 31 by 8, 248. 172.20.1.248, and the last one is 172.20.1. It will just plus 8, which is 256, which is not possible because the last digit is always 255, so we make it 255, because remember, if it is 256, if we plus 1 this figure, it will become 0, and the next one will be, if it is 1, the next one will be 2. So this is always the last address is 255. So if it becomes, if we add 1, like if we put 256 here, it won't be possible because that's against the rules. So it will be 0 and it will add up in the next one. So for example, the next one will be 172.20.1. If it was 256, if we add 1 more in this one, it will become oh, okay, sorry, there is no next subnet ID for this one. So this is our range where this IP address belongs. Okay, and the next one is 172.201.222/27, which is 255.255.255. We've got 3 bits here, which is 224. Okay, 256 minus 224 is 232. Okay, so 172.20.1. Okay, so we're gonna find out the multiple of 32, which is less than or equal to or less than 222. So if we multiply 36 by 6, 192. If you add 32 in this one, 24 now, 9, 10, 11, 12, 22, 24. So this is exactly what we need. So 192 is the first. This is the subnet ID, and the broadcast will be 172.20.1. The addition of 32, which is 22, 24 minus 1, 223. The next subnet ID will be 172.20.1.224, which we don't really need. So our concern is with this subnet ID. This IP address belongs to this subnet ID. Okay, and the next one is 172.20.129/27, which is exactly the same as above, .224. So it's 32, 256 minus 224 is 32. So we're gonna find out the multiple of 32, which is equal to or less than 129. So if I multiply 32 by, say, 5, 160, this is bigger. 32 by 4 is 128. So this is the one we need. So the subnet ID will be 1.128. If we add 32 to find out the next subnet ID and the broadcast, which is 172.20.1.159, because 160 is the next subnet ID. Okay, we have calculated the subnet range for the IP addresses given. Now we're going to find out if the IP addresses overlaps with any of these subnet IDs. So I'm going to write down the subnet ranges here: 172.20.1.236. So this is obvious that these two have the same broadcast subnet ID. The next one is 172.20.1.248, 172.20.1.255, 172.20.1.192, 172.20.1.223. The next one is 172.20.1.128, 172.20.1.159. Okay, these are the subnet ranges which we have just calculated, and we're gonna find out if any of the IP addresses belongs to more than one subnet range here. So the IP address, the first one is this one, 172.220.1.237. If we look here, we are actually looking for the last digit, which is 237, and this belongs to this range because 237 falls between 236 and 239. So we're going to write down this IP address here, 172.20.1.237. Okay, and the next IP address is 172.20.1.225. so the 225 will fall between this range, between 224 and 239. 2.20.1.225. okay, the next IP address is 172.20.1.254. The 254 falls between 248 and 255, so it will belong here, 172.20.1.254. The next IP address is 20. By the way, if we look these ones in here, we can only we can find out if there is an overlapping in the subnet ranges. So the next one is 254, the next one is 2. This is the next one, 172.20.1.222, and we're going to find out where the 222 falls. So the 222 actually 192 and 223, 172.20.1.222. But this IP address, this last octet, last digit, this actually falls in this one as well, 128, 159. Oh no, sorry, it doesn't. Oh, sorry. Okay. Okay, the last IP address is 128. So 172.20.1.128, which falls in this one. Okay. So where is the overlapping? 237. Yes. So if we look here, 237 falls in this one, as I said before, that these have identical broadcast subnet IDs. So 237 falls into this range and this one, because this is the here we go 239. So basically these two subnet ranges are overlapping. So we check our answer here. Problem number 2. Okay, there we go. This is 1.224 and 1.236. 1.224, 1.236, 1.239 and 1.239. 1.239 and 1.239. So here is the answer. These two subnet ranges are overlapping with each other, and this is invalid IP ranges. We have to change either the first one or the second one. I hope guys this will help you in calculating the VLSM overlapping problems. After practicing more and more, obviously you will overcome the whole thing, and you'll be quickly doing this, because previously I was calculating all the ranges and then finding out this IP address falls to this range and blah 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 and so on. So this is the easiest and quickest way. So hope this will help you, and hopefully the next video I'll bring up for the supernetting, maybe. Fingers crossed. Okay guys, thank you very much. Bye bye.